All right, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
It is Thursday. Thank everybody for the birthday wishes yesterday.
She's not impressed with her treat today.
Oh, no, dog.
Hey, come on, it's pizza.
Today
I love
is
pizza.
a part 2 of
She's not liking it.
Paul condemns spiritual pride. 1 Corinthians chapter 5, starting at verse 9. When I wrote to you before, I told you not to associate with people who indulge in sexual sin. But I wasn't talking about unbelievers who indulge in sexual sin, or are greedy, or cheat people, or worship idols. You would have to leave this world to avoid people like that. I meant that you are not to associate with anyone who claims to be a believer, yet indulges in sexual sin, or is greedy, or worships idols, or is abusive, or is a drunkard, or cheats people. Don't even eat with such people. It isn't my responsibility to judge outsiders, but it is certainly your responsibility to judge those inside the church who are sinning. God will judge those on the outside, but as the scriptures say, you must remove the evil person from among you. Now the commentary. Paul is referring to an earlier letter to the Corinthian church, often called the lost letter because it has not been preserved. Paul makes it clear that we should not disassociate ourselves from unbelievers, otherwise we could not carry out Christ's command to tell them about salvation. Matthew chapter 28, verse 18 to 20. But we are to distance ourselves from the person who claims to be a Christian, yet indulges in sins explicitly forbidden in scriptures by rationalizing those sinful actions. By rationalizing sin, a person harms others for whom Christ died. A church that includes such a person is hardly fit to be the light of the world. To do so would distort the picture of Christ it presents to the world. Church leaders must be ready to correct in love for the sake of spiritual unity. The Bible consistently tells us not to criticize people by gossiping or making rash judgments. At the same time, we are to judge and deal with sin that can hurt others. Paul's instructions should not be used to handle trivial matters or to take revenge, nor should they be applied to individual problems between believers. These verses are instructions for dealing with open sin in the church by a person who claims to be a Christian and yet who sins without remorse. The church is to confront and discipline such a person in love. And for more on that, 1 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 5, and 1 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 1.
I like how it says that you confront them in love.
Yeah.
And my advice is to approach them how you'd want to be approached.
Yeah.
You know, and realize that their sin is just different from your sin.
It's true.
And my sin is just different from their sin, or you know, whatever. It's, you understand what I'm saying? It's just like don't come at them judging with a finger out. Come at them to help them with a hand to lift them up.
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately for me, I have experience in that where the pastor had come right up to me and got his finger right in my face and said, "You're going to hell." Okay. That's not
the right approach.
That was not the right approach, and so it's there's better ways to deal with that than that. That's for sure. And so it's tragic, to be sure. But yeah, I mean, we are to deal with Christians who profess it, and then turn around and go run around and cheat on their spouses, or go out and whatever. If you know somebody's cheating on somebody else or cheating somebody else financially, you should really can't just keep quiet about it, because you're not helping anybody. Because now you're allowing other people to think, oh well, this person here is a Christian. Look at what they're doing. So I guess being a Christian ain't so bad. I can go out and cheat on my spouse and still be saved and be okay.
And as believers in a group of people, which collectively called the church. I hate using the word church because people think of a structure, but anyway, as the church
of the body of Christ,
we do that too.
Yeah.
It's like, well, this sin's not so bad because, it's not as bad as that person's sin, or it's not, they're doing it, so I should be okay doing it, and they're high up in the church, so I can do it. And what we fail to realize a lot of times, just in our desensitizing, is we're not supposed to compare ourselves to other believers or other people.
No.
We're supposed to be like Christ.
And Jesus said it, take the plank out of your own eye before you go and try to help somebody take the sliver out of their own, out of theirs. So we have to really self-reflect first before we want to harshly judge somebody else. And really, I mean, it's one of those things. That's why you have to go in love, because that same person could turn around and look at you and go, look at here.
Exactly.
Let's look at what you're doing.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's a touchy subject. It's not easy. It really isn't, but it needs to be done sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Okay. Hope everybody has a glorious day, and we'll talk to you later.